The Heart of Sabik. It is the weapon's core, an enigma whose surface even the vaunted scholars of ancient Alec failed to scratch.
The Heart of Sabik has been an object of interest and mystery in the FF14 story since its introduction. First showing up in A Realm Reborn 2.0, it wouldn't be until a decade later that we learned the truth of the origins of the Heart of Sabik can trace themselves to ancient Daenerys, long before the Sundering. In that time of Eld, a young researcher would discover a mysterious crystal, and would bring it before her peers in the organization called the Words of Lahabrea. This researcher's name was Athena, the wife of Lahabrea and mother of Ericdonios. The crystal itself was unlike anything they had seen before, and was brimming with great power. As it was a new discovery, Athena would give it a name, Oracite. She would take the crystal into her research facility, the very place that would one day become Pandemonium. She began her research in earnest, which very quickly turned into an obsession. From what the Words of Lahabrea could glean, the crystal seemed to be extraterrestrial in origin, meaning it came from beyond Daenerys, somewhere in the Great Expanse. They couldn't learn anything else, however, for the more Athena researched it, the more zealous she became, and intentionally hid what she learned. It's unclear how it came into Athena's possession. Whether she chanced to find it or it was given to her, only Athena would know. Later, she would present to them the fruits of her research, in the form of a dark crystal the likes of which had never been seen. She gave this new creation a name, the Heart of Sabik. Athena would keep the crystal close and dove further into her own research, with a desire and drive that took those close to her by surprise. Too late did they learn that the Heart of Sabik had a unique property that magnified the desires of those who come into contact with it. This is similar to the Oracite we are familiar with in the present. It also seems whatever this desire is can be purposely spread to others, almost like an infection of mind and memory. What Athena desired was unique. She sought to unlock the secret of life itself, to transcend the bounds of mortal form, and ascend to a higher plane of existence. This dream, combined with the crystal fueling her desires, meant she would go to any length to achieve them. The sacrifice of her own flesh and blood, even the demise of the star, were nothing to her if it meant getting one step closer. Sometime later, as Athena experimented on her own son, she would be confronted by Lahabrea. The end result of this exchange was Athena's death by Lahabrea's own hand, for she was too far gone and impossible to reason with. Lahabrea took the Heart of Sabik from her person, but he recognized the part that it played in her descent, and so he would seal the crystal away, in a secure location that only he knew.
Cast it into the fire! Destroy it!
No.
Lahabrea!
Should have ended that day, but evil was allowed to endure.
Unknown to him, however, was the steps that Athena took to preserve herself, in the event that she would fall. In much the same way that the Convocation used crystals to preserve their memories, Athena used the Heart of Sabik in the same way, and stored a copy of hers within it. Eventually, the time of the final days arrived and the world was sundered. As we know, Lahabrea survived along with Emet-Selch and Elidibus, who would come to be known as the Unsundered, and formed the Ascian organization, with the goal of returning the world to the paradise it once was. The Heart of Sabik also survived the Sundering, and was kept safe by Lahabrea. He would eventually claim it once more and gift it to the Allegan Empire, who were in the process of developing the Ultima weapon. The heart would be installed at its core, with even the Allegans knowing little about it save its potential powers. It seems Lahabrea gifted it to them for many reasons. First was to further the destabilization of the star in preparation for another rejoining. The second was to have the Allegans use it to absorb the etheric essence of primals to further power the crystal. This was also the reason that Lahabrea aided the Garlean Empire with the Ultima weapon.
The hour is at hand. Behold but a sliver of my god's power. And from the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, the world shall tremble. Unleash Ultima!
Lahabrea awakened the incantations within the Heart of Sabik and unleashed the spell Ultima, destructive magic the likes of which had not been seen before. The spell was likely always a part of the crystal, and a further hint to its mysterious origins. After the destruction of the Ultima weapon, Lahabrea would again claim the Heart of Sabik and keep it on his person. It's very likely that keeping it close like this allowed it to further fuel his desires, just like it did for Athena. In his case, the desire was the restoration of his god Zodiac and the return of the world to the paradise it once was. After Lahabrea was slain at the Etherochemical Research Facility, the crystal would lay in its halls, waiting for someone to claim it. It seems everything that happened until that point had caused Athena's memories to stir within, calling out, willing someone to come forth. For years it lay discarded and forgotten, until a Charlian researcher by the name of Claudine would find it. Claudine had discovered a different crystal in the Ethereal Sea, which is what led us to Pandemonium. He would continue to research the crystal and the memories within, until by chance he and his team detected a signature somewhere on Aetheris, one that matched the crystal that we bear. Claudine theorized that it must be a second crystal, so he embarked on a journey to find it. This journey would lead him to FFXIV and the Etherochemical Research Facility. Within its still active halls, he discovered the Heart of Sabik. This was the moment that Athena had planned for all those years ago. The moment Claudine picked it up, the Heart of Sabik activated, and Athena's memories would pour into Claudine and write themselves upon his very soul. In effect, she took his body and his soul for her own, and was reborn once again. She would keep the Heart of Sabik with her, as she teleported a section of the research facility from FFXIV into the Ethereal Sea itself, where it would take on the guise of Pandemonium. Using the knowledge locked within the crystal, she created many beings to see her desires of godhood become a reality. It seems she also unlocked the secrets of Ultima, which her creations were able to invoke without needing the crystal. After we finally struck her down and Claudine was released from her grasp, the Heart of Sabik was finally in safe hands. However, we learned that no one is safe from the corrupting influences of the crystal. Claudine took possession of it for study, and from discussions we have had with him after these events, seems to show that it's already affecting him and his mindset, being more devoted to his research than he's ever been before. As of now, it's still in his possession, while he and his team continue to study it. With it back on the main stage, is it possible that we will once again see the Heart of Sabik utilised in the future? To quickly break down again what we know, Athena came into possession of the Orosite in the ancient past, and fashioned it into the Heart of Sabik we know today. Even before she did this, the Orosite was host to a great source of peculiar etheric energy. This is likely what led researchers to deduce its extraterrestrial origins. Alongside the power it held was also knowledge. One major piece of knowledge within was the invocations of the spell Ultima, a spell of destructive capabilities that even the ancients couldn't rival. It is likely, however, given the fact that it can contain memories which Athena took advantage of, that the Orosite itself has much more knowledge locked away. Then we have the Orosite and its corruptive influence. Merely being in close contact with it seems to amplify the desires of people, while also likely inhibiting their emotional attachment towards anything else. This is why we see Athena, and indeed Lahabrea, so fanatical about their goals, while being apathetic to everything else. This entire storyline has left us with many questions. We knew the dangers of the Heart of Sabik, yet we allowed such a dangerous object to roam free and potentially corrupt many in Sharlayan, starting the cycle all over again. Claudine and its assistants know full well the dangers the heart poses, yet they seem confident they can study it safely. To me personally, they clearly can't see what's in front of them. Then there is the question of the crystal's extraterrestrial origin. We know of one other being who bears the name Ultima, and also hails from beyond the star. The High Seraph Ultima, which we encountered during the Return to Ivalice raid series. Claudine's team also speculated at such a connection, given the name Orosite seemingly originated with Athena, yet showed up again long after her passing. Perhaps the name was one she learned of in her research, rather than one created by herself to identify the crystal. Or, if one theory is correct, and someone gifted the crystal to her, they may have also told her its name. This could hint at the High Seraph we'd met before having much older origins than Ivalice. Indeed, she, or those similar to her, could have been operating on our star long before the Sundering occurred. There are many more theories and questions, many of which I will go over in the follow-up stream to this video. And that is the tale of the Heart of Sabik.